some wags have said online, um, well, we got real dire wolves before we got winds of winter. Can you talk about where that project is?
Well, that's the curse of my life here. There's no doubt. Winds of Winter is 13 years late. Um, I'm still working on it. I have periods where I make progress, and then other things divert my attention, and suddenly I'm working for. I have a deadline for one of the HBO shows. I have something else to do. I'm sitting at home. I might have been working on Winds of Winter, one of the screenplay, and suddenly Peter Jackson's on the line, and I hear about this, and I travel out to see it. Probably would the trip was like 4 days, and I flew down to Dallas and we took the tour and then we ate some barbecue. And it did not seriously impinge on the writing of Winds of Winter. But people make it seem, my more fanatic fans, as if it's a one or the other.
And we are back. I'm here with Mr. Trey, the explainer, and Mr. Preston Jacobs, the novelist. Preston Jacobs. Right. Hello, Preston.
Oh, thank you. Dreams of Ghosts and Indians.
Dreams of Ghosts and Indians out now on Amazon?
Yeah, available, in paperback and in an ebook on Amazon, yeah.
Trey, I know you have to go real soon, but I needed to get your opinion on this because technically George R. R. Martin responded to you.
Yeah,
and
what the hell?
He was a little annoyed. So he kind of responded to you, not really. So let me explain for the audience.
Yeah.
So a couple of days, last week, George R. R. Martin put out a whole blog post that they revived the direwolf, and Time put that as like a whole cover. And of course, Time tweeted about it, their cover. And Trey retweeted it and said, bro, we literally got the actual direwolves before we got Winds of Winter. So apparently a couple days after that, Time did an interview with George, and the interviewer...
So the interviewer was from Time fucking magazine.
Yes.
I'm just putting this way. Time fucking magazine. Yeah, a real fucking journalist was perusing Twitter, found Trey's tweet, random ass tweet, and there's a lot... And by the way, didn't scroll down to all of your other quite saucy tweets, right? And decided, you know what? I'm going to ask George R. R. Martin this fucking question. I'm going to bring up this question, this comment from this
random nobody.
This guy.
Random nobody. It's like...
So let me give the audience a bit of heads up as well, because Trey's not the first person to make this joke.
Yeah, tons of people are making this joke.
Tons of people are making it. However, he did quote Time magazine on Twitter, and he's the only one that got 5.6, and I'm sure at this point, more than 6 million views on it. What always fascinates me, Trey, is how your tweets always somehow go viral, but you're not verified. Because usually the algorithm pushes the verified ones more. You're not verified, and somehow you're breaking the algorithm.
I'm just that good.
And
I'm just that good.
And Elon didn't comment
concerning
big if true, or whatever.
And Trey, I wanted to. Did you see the video response that George
did?
Yes.
Because it was very irked. George, it's funny the degrees of connection I have to George now, and that George, because this happened with William Shatner. William Shatner saw a tweet from me and got butthurt about it and blurred.
What? I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I tweeted something about because Red Letter Media was blocked by Discovery or something because they were criticizing that Star Trek reboot.
And they also have very weird mixed feelings, like when William Shatner started trashing Red Letter Media, and they're just they're not sure if their soul can take it. They literally literally love William Shatner. They love him. They think while the rest of the world thinks he's a horrible actor, they think he's an incredible actor, and they love Star Trek and everything he's done, and they think he's brilliant actor, and they were just so hurt by the fact that William Shatner
called them a podcast.
Who are these morons?
Yeah, he called them a podcast. Yeah. And they were I'm offended that you call us a podcast. No, I have, I tweeted something like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you guys were blocked by Discovery, and William Shatner saw that tweet and thought Discovery blocked me, like in the same way people do with you, Carmine, with the thing in your header that George R. Martin blocked you, where he just didn't. He thought that Discovery, whatever, Warner Bros, whatever, blocked me, when it was actually just a screenshot from Red Letter Media's video of them being blocked by them. So William Shatner like made this whole blog post where he like blurred my icon and my name, but you could still tell it was me, and like, look at the fans, these are so-called Star Trek fans and they're getting blocked for being harassing or something. Just like totally like didn't know what was going on. That like, no, I didn't,
like you weren't even harassing anyone.
I'm not
this
even a Star
about,
Trek fan.
yeah.
I've never watched Star Trek. Like I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, so it's like this, or like you're like, what? Like this famous person has seen my tweet or knows things they said. Like what? These people shouldn't care what I say, you know?
I can't believe you just slipped in there that you're not a Star Trek fan. Like there's a lot of Star Trek you would fucking love, Trey.
I know.
But
I know. That's the thing is I think I would like it
but
if I watched it. I just need it. It just seems like a lot to watch. Like I don't know. I'm trying to make it through the X-Files and it's like several
I
seasons.
know it's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
What's weird is I'm a Star Trek fan, but I was actually like more of a Deep Space Nine fan. I really loved that series the most. And then Carmine watches it fucking literally 25 years after it came out and it was like, oh, that really was a fucking great series.
Yeah.
And I was like,
late to the party as per usual. But no, Trey, I wanted your thoughts on George's response, because he got irked and he was basically saying like, guys, listen, I was sitting at home and then Peter Jackson calls me and whoa, they're resurrecting I got to get on this. Come on, guys, I'm not doing it myself. True, bro, but in that video,
that's the joke.
What he says that's the joke. What he said is that he went out there to that place. It took him 4 days to go there.
He did that photo shoot. Yeah. He did that photo shoot that was on all the covers or whatever, on all the articles. Like he's being a little facetious there where yes, he actually did take time out of his day. Because you're right that like, no, he's not the one that's made that resurrected the direwolf or whatever. He just contributed a whole bunch of money and I don't know, was interviewed in their articles and stuff. Like he's not the actual scientist. But then again, you're right that like, yes, he did drive all the way out there for a photo shoot. One day not spent working on Winds of Winter, or however many days, because he had to travel.
Right.
And
the thing is, we understand that it's completely understandable.
That he has other stuff.
This is a real like first of all, if these people told us like take a week out of your life to go see this resurrected direwolf thing and do a photo shoot for like fucking Time magazine, of course we're all fucking gonna do it. Like obviously. But on a serious note, George R. Martin is filled with a million of those little death by a million paper cut requests where he gets to do awesome things all the fucking time. You think like if somebody said like, hey, would you like to have an evening out having dinner with Shay? Like I wouldn't do it. Yeah, of course I'm going to fucking have a dinner out with Shay. Like why fucking not? That sounds fucking great. But that's another night. Like I'm not doing work, right?
And it seems like George is doing that a lot. He's working on Dark Winds. He's working on that short film and stuff, and he's got that theater and everything.
The chickens,
He is really spreading himself thin. Like let's not make any mistake here. He is spreading himself thin. Like this is a joke. But he got very upset. He did get pretty upset with the insinuation because
I feel like I think they took your tweet out of context, not understanding. Like one, it's a fucking joke. Yeah. Like
I literally say bro,
and the thing is,
like at the beginning, that's
bro. But it's also like it's a recycled joke that like everybody's made a million times already, like all the time. Or I mean, the variance is we're doing blank blank now. This is what a lack of wins has brought us to. Like that joke has been made many times too.
And George has had that joke said to him. Like, who is that? Was it Jimmy Kimmel or something like that? Jimmy Fallon, where they had like George jumping on a trampoline and like blowing
Conan O'Brien
and stuff.
Yeah,
Conan O'Brien. Like George should know this. Like this is the joke, and that was like probably like 8 years ago that joke was made.
They actually made the joke recently on Dark Winds. There's I think it was like a commercial or just a clip where George and Robert Redford are in a prison a jail cell together, and they're playing checkers or chess, and the cop is watching them do it and he says, "Come on, George, we're all waiting." And he
That's pretty
and
funny.
he didn't
That's pretty funny.
he didn't want to at first do that because he hates those types of jokes. He doesn't like it.
But you get to hang out with Robert fucking Redford playing checkers. Do you think I wouldn't do a lot of fucking shit to have to play checkers with Robert fucking Redford?
I mean, he also said that this whole thing is his curse. Yeah, man. Like, yeah. And this kind of harkens back to what Trey and I were talking about last week in regards to George just retiring and choosing a successor to do it for him. A successor that he can, look over his shoulder and, if the guy needs, has some questions, whatever, just call him up. Because, my man, you clearly don't want to do this anymore. Then don't. Like, it shouldn't have to be a curse. You shouldn't have to drag your fucking feet to it. If you don't want to do it, retire. It is what it is.
I mean, I wouldn't say the retire thing. I think that, like, okay, so you guys are familiar with the artist Aerosmith, yes?
The band? Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you listen to Aerosmith albums, the early Aerosmith albums are rather simple, and then they get really they get really polished and corporate, and there's all this other flowery stuff in later Aerosmith. And there's a reason for that, is they hire song consultants. They started hiring song consultants later in their career to help them write the songs. Okay, and so a lot of artists like start getting song consultants to like help them do it. Now, did you know that or care that they did that?
No.
No. Right? Like it doesn't change anything to know, like, their number one hit, like Aerosmith's only number one hit is the Armageddon song, Don't want to close my eyes, don't want to fall asleep.
Really?
That's,
wait,
a song consultant.
Really? That's the one? Because I love Dream On and Walk This Way. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, a side thing. Okay, Aerosmith's really fascinating because they have like a dozen albums that were number one albums, but they never had a number one hit until that song. Yeah, like song wise, like they were always known as like a concert band, an album band, and then but they didn't have that like one hit, but anyway, but the thing is like he can do the same thing. He can sit down with a room of 20 people,
like you kind of do,
and be like, yeah. And like, and have people to like throw ideas back and forth on. If you get stuck at a certain place, like, or you can do, Brandon Sanderson has other writers who like go and bang stuff out for him or like polish up his writing. And now he doesn't do it all himself anymore. He has a team of writers.
Is that true? Because I think it was Amber who told me. She gave me access to this article where this one guy, the guy got so much hate for writing this article, he had to private the article. Apparently, Brandon Sanderson he embedded himself with Sanderson, and apparently Sanderson's like family loved to tell him fantastical, crazy shit about Sanderson. Like, that's almost on par with, like, how North Korean dictators get propaganda. Like, Sanderson can, like, stay seated for 24 hours in a row and not have back issues. He doesn't need that much sleep, and he functions perfectly fine. Shit like that, Like, what the fuck? He's like a writing machine, apparently, and a lot of it was just, obviously, it's bullshit. Nobody can fucking sit down hunched over for 24 hours to write. That's ridiculous. So you disagree with me and Trey, because me and Trey both agreed that we think George should retire and just choose someone and
maybe
have that.
Not retire,
you think George...
but delegate. Like I don't know. He needs to just kind of accept that there's not enough time, to finish this stuff, and maybe he should get prepared. I don't know.
Well, I think like also when you have a team of people, then you can also have a schedule, and you can meet your like internal deadlines, it pushes stuff forward when you have a team of people. And I understand he has minions and he has assistants and things like this, but like, it's just not that, he needs people to actually like, sort that out. If he's serious about finishing it, and apparently he's not. So
your take is don't retire, don't delegate someone, just get a team of people to help you, like you have with the fanfic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, but more serious than I have with the fanfic. I mean, the fanfic moves at a snail's pace too, because it's for free, and other people, and these people all have jobs and lives and things like that. But here's the thing: is when it's your one job, you're going to be more likely to spend time on it, and also when you're being paid for it, you're going to spend time on it. Those two motivations really help with stuff. You know, when someone's providing you a paycheck, and when there's actually like, this is your sole job, not one job of 50, then you're going to be more focused on it. But he's just, like I said, he's not serious about it. He's got other things that are more important, you know.
So Trey, I know you have to bounce, but real quick before you go, and your final take on this is that it's surreal, but you think he's bullshitting a little bit. He's being a little ridiculous, George, with his response.
I think he just didn't understand. I think he misunderstood. Like, I think the guy read the context of the tweet wrong, that it's obviously supposed to be a joke. And yes, I don't like, if I got invited to hang out with direwolves, I'm dropping everything for a week and going up there. I don't fault him for this, but oh my gosh, he took it very literally. So it's kind of funny. It's surreal.
But it's also just like, yeah, the joke wasn't necessarily about his lack of work ethic on it. It was also just like, this is the world we live in, and the things we get and the things we don't get as well, like the ridiculousness of the world.